Good afternoon, passengers, and welcome aboard. This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard flight DEI 325. Now, before we get started, I have to make an announcement. I'm a Black woman. The airline did not hire me because I was the most qualified. They had to meet a quota. But don't worry, I have an airline simulation in my garage. I landed over 100 times. I only crashed 5. But don't worry about that. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Now, you know I'm not a pilot, right? And that was a bit dramatic, but what if it wasn't a joke? What if the person flying the plane, doing your surgery, or even built your child's school, what if they were hired not because they were qualified, but because they met a quota? Diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, it started out with noble intentions. It protected the people that were often overlooked. But inadvertently, it also hurt the people it was supposed to help. Me, you, all of us. Now, I know this not just by observation, but by experience. So let me share. I was born in a single parent home. I had my daughter at the age of 16. And I remember like rocking her to sleep while I was doing my homework. And that could have broken me, but it was faith and grit that keep me going. My mother used to say, you know what? The things in life that happen, they're not just a skin color issue. It's a character issue. My mother was the first to graduate from high school in her family, and I was the first to graduate from college. And now I hold multiple degrees. But let me tell you something else. I was in a marriage for 14 years, and that marriage ended in divorce. I had bleach put in my contact solution, something that nearly blinded me. But even with that, I never saw myself as a victim. I chose to be an overcomer. So let me take you on another journey, because a lot of times what we want to think about is that our trauma is our credential, but it's not. Our trauma is a testimony. It's a testimony that we made it. And sometimes we have used that excuse to say, hey, I'm owed a seat at the table. But here's the thing. Our trauma is not a credential. Our trauma just tells the world that, hey, that you can make it, that you don't have any more excuses. My mother never let that be an excuse of being a single parent. She never used the system as an excuse. So let me share this other story. Now, picture this. I'm in the clinical field, and I'm doing a meeting with another team, and we're combining our teams together, and I happen to be jointly doing this presentation with another manager, and she just happened to be white. And so I'm preparing myself, and I stand up, and I say, you know what, I'm going to encourage the team today. And I look at the team members, and I say, we're going to have a great day today. And then she looked at me with envy and said, shut up. That's what everyone else did. It got definitely silent in the room. And boy, was I mad. I was hot. I was furious. Not that the fact that she said it, but the fact that she actually said it out loud in public. But you know what? I knew that I was there as a leader, that people were looking up to me. Not only was I a leader, I was a mentor. So this was a test to see how I would react to diversity, how I would react under pressure. And so what I did, I just took a deep breath, and I addressed my team. I said, we will not allow disrespect to be tolerated on our team. Now go out there and do an amazing job and take care of our members like you've been doing. Now, people have already disconnected from the call, stormed out the room. But I didn't use that situation as a race card. I didn't go to HR. I didn't even demand a public apology. But I did have a private conversation with her. And I did let her know that it was not acceptable what she said to me. I did let her know that that would not be tolerated here. But what I found out, that it wasn't a color issue. It was a character flaw. It was a flaw of insecurity. And so, guess what? You're probably imagining, is she still there? And I'm surprised you even took that. Well, she left after a year, but I stayed. After 21 years, I was the last person that stayed. And I led, I mentored, but I also grew. See, here's the culture that we have now. We have gone from entitlement, and we forgot all about being resilient. We have gone to, I'm owed a seat at the table until working for it. But here's the truth. No one owes you a seat at the table. People don't want a free pass. They just want to know that they belong. We have to move our mindset to say, hey, you put in the work, you earned it, you belong here. Why? Because it's not a color issue. It's a character issue. So what I decided to do, I decided that no matter what, I was going to stay in my character, and I was going to show people that I did not need anyone to lower the bar. Think about it. When you go to a basketball game, did you ever see the shortest person say, hey, can you lower that basketball goal so I can make a dunk? No. Why? Because performance matters. It's not how you look sitting at the table. It's what you can actually bring to the table. So what can we do different? I say that we move from boxes to belonging. We have to promote and we have to exclaim to the world that it matters about competency, character, and contribution. See, I don't care if the pilot is black. I don't care if the pilot is a female. All I want to know, are they qualified to get me to my destination? That is what real equity looks like. It is equal opportunity, but it's not always equal outcomes. So, now what we do? Well, this is one of the things that I want you to take away from here and from what I have to say to you today. I want us to hold people accountable. I want us to hold them to a high standard. And I'm not telling us to reject anybody. I'm telling us to respect everyone enough that we can hold them accountable so they can do better. People want mentors. People want them to tell them the truth and tell them the truth in love, but have grace. I'm not standing here because somebody gave me a free pass. I put in the hard work. I put in the dedication, and it was a whole lot of sacrifices. And so have each and every one of you. So today, we're going to move away from titles. We're going to look at people's skill. We're not going to be looking at labels. We're going to look at people's purpose and not try to cover up and give them pity. We're going to tell people, you belong here because you earned it. Because when we move away from titles and we start building legacy, we all win. Thank you.